One amazing thing about having a smoker and barbecue in general is the ability to cook large amounts of food for relatively cheap. We like to load up the smoker with all kinds of different things that we can then vac seal and freeze for later. In this episode, we're going to throw together some simple chopped beef that we'll have on hand for whenever we want down the road. I love being able to open up the freezer on a random weeknight and have a huge selection of meat that I can pull out and use for that evening's meal, or even meat for the whole week if I need it. The versatility is also great too, as there's hundreds of different dishes that this can be used in. Really anything that requires meat. We got 6 chuck roasts here, and this couldn't be any easier or more fun. Let's get it. Let's go ahead and get everything opened up in preparation to build our fire. We start our Belfab offset smoker just like always. I've still got some ashes in here from our last cook, so I'll grab my galvanized bucket and sweep these out and open up the ash dump to empty out the firebox. We'll take out the upper rack for this cook. If you're serious about your barbecue journey, I would highly encourage you to consider an offset smoker if you don't have one. These bad boys give you the most authentic smoke flavor because you burn a real wood fire, not just wood pellets or chunks. It's best if you burn naturally seasoned splits instead of kiln-dried wood. Naturally seasoned splits are going to run somewhere between 20 to 25% moisture, which gives you the cleanest burn, best smoke flavor, and most sustainability from the wood. If you're interested in offset smokers, I would encourage you to look up Bell Fabrications in Oklahoma. Bell Fabrications made this pit, and I'm never looking back. This thing is the perfect backyard pit. I've fed up to 75 people with this pit alone. It's quality built 3/8 inch steel, which is better than the industry standard of a 1/4 inch. And it's also probably the most affordable custom offset you can find on the market. Check out Craig Bell at Bell Fabrications if you're interested in his products. No plugins, no knobs, no dials. I pour in our lump charcoal and hit it with the fire shooter. We'll get some post oak wood split for that true Central Texas style barbecue where beef is king. For most of our cooks, and for this size of backyard offset smoker, we like splits about the same width as your wrist, so we'll get to work on these. Once the charcoal is ashed over, we'll throw these splits on the coal bed in a lattice formation. This video is brought to you by our sponsor, Woodchuck Firewood. Woodchuck has all kinds of different woods. He's based out of Valley Center, Kansas, but he ships his wood all over the country. If you're on the lookout for wood splits that you need for your barbecue, fire pit, or fireplace, Woodchuck Firewood is your guy. Look him up online and contact him if you want to place an order, and he'll take good care of you. Let's go in and make our rub. I like a good basic SPG, salt, pepper, garlic rub for this. We'll go in with 2 parts 16 mesh black pepper, 1 part diamond crystal kosher salt, and 1/2 part granulated garlic. Let's check back in on our fire. I think it's probably lit enough we can close the smoker down. We're going to shoot for 225 to 250 today. Back inside, we'll pull our chucks from the fridge. It's time to sprinkle our rub onto the meat. Make sure you get all the sides. We'll put our chuck roasts on and that's it. We'll just maintain the temps at 225 to 250, adding wood splits as needed to maintain our temps. We'll probably add wood every 20 to 30 minutes or so to maintain our appropriate temp. Check back in 4 hours and see where we're at. There's not much more to do except just maintain temps. Offset smoking isn't for everyone, but for me, it's so relaxing. There's nothing more simple, primitive, and soul refreshing than maintaining a fire. At 6 hours, we look again and can start checking temps and tenderness. Notice the bark quality. It's supposed to look like a meteor. At this point, most of these are running about 160 internal, but there's one chuck roast already done. Temp is 203 and it probes tender, so we take it off. Check back in every 30 minutes. We've had another chuck roast finish up in the meantime, and the rest of these are about done but need just a bit more time. We'll go back in, and the first one we took off is down to 160 on the counter, so we'll wrap in foil and put it in our warmer for tonight's dinner. You could do a low oven or wrap in towels and into a cooler preheated with warm water. Just make sure it stays above 140 internal for food safety. Check-in time again. It's been around 9 hours total. These are probe tender and feel like sticking a butter knife in a jar of peanut butter. Ouch. Just as a side note, I don't share many internal temp goals because each cut of meat is going to be different. What's most important is probe tenderness. Once they're at 160 on the counter, we also wrap in foil and into the warmer for a long overnight hold till lunch tomorrow. The next day, it's time for the big reveal. And now we simply chop. We've chopped and now we plop some of this meat mountain onto a homemade brioche bun. We'll dress this with Kinder's Gold barbecue sauce. Homemade pickled red onions from our previous pickled red onion video. And pickles before we dive in. That's how we make chopped beef at fire and ferment. If you like this type of content and you want to see more of it, hit that big like button and subscribe to the channel. I love you guys, and stick around.